Hey everyone, welcome to the Visual Storytelling Podcast. My name is Fred Ranger. What a crazy start of 2020. What an unprecedented time. And what an unprecedented time to be a creative person. Because it is so important when you are a creative person to connect with people. You basically get your drive, get inspired, get challenged by connecting with other people. And in these times of self-isolation and confinement, it kind of becomes a little bit harder to get that dose of energy going. At least for me, if I speak for my own photography and videography and just creative mind, I will say that all those, Zoom meetings and WebEx and so on and so forth are great. I mean, this is the next best thing, right? So you either are in presence of another human being, or you can have it on FaceTime or chat or whatever the technology you're using. And this is all great, but nothing replaces the power of two human beings, or more than that, connecting and feeling the presence of somebody else, whether if it's on a photo shoot, on just a conversation or a glass of wine. I think we all realize that, we're being more creative when we are surrounded with, real people. So it's kind of feel weird to say, and it kind of sound apocalyptic when you think about it, that we're all self-isolating in our house. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great that you can be creative in other ways. I mean, I'm starting to document my family life, my day-to-day life. I enjoy it. It helps me to stay sane. That and music. I mean, I play guitar a lot in the past few days, and I've rocked the good old Gibson guitar just to stay sane. And I've also rocked the Fujifilm X100F because it is a small, little camera that I can bring on a walk outside, because yes, we are still allowed to go outside in Canada, at least in Montreal, and also inside the house. And that brings me to the point that I want to make tonight. And the point is, in these very unprecedented times, if you want to keep your mind creative, if you want to stay sane, you have to continue doing what you used to do in a bit of a different way. Of course, you cannot just go out and start doing street photography in New York like you used to, or just go out in Vancouver and start asking people for their photo. People don't have the mindset. They're not even outside anymore. They're in their houses. So my point is that you should get that creative mind going, and it doesn't have to be photography. If you are a photographer, of course you could start documenting the day-to-day life like I'm doing right now. It's good practice anyways, and you're going to look at those photos in 10, 20 years and you're going to be like, oh wow, were those unprecedented times? But also try something else. I mean, if you haven't tried playing an instrument, now is the time to do it. And there's plenty of resources online to learn how to play the guitar, and most of it is free, and there's paid options too. Or just start drawing. I mean, that's something that I'm really not good at. I really suck at it, but I've tried some drawings with the tablet, the Wacom tablet that I have here, because I said, you know what, might as well, if I'm in the house, if I have to stay here, I want to keep busy. I want to keep my mind busy. I mean, I do have lots of meetings and Zoom meetings, like I said, and a lot of work to do. But as a creative person, what you need to do is to keep that practice in your life, regardless of what's happening outside. And you want to know why? I mean, I can speak from my own experience, where at the beginning of this whole thing, I was so obsessed by it. I mean, I was just watching YouTube and the news and Newsy and all these sites and apps, and I was not incorporating daily practice of creativity, and I felt down. I felt really a big weight on my shoulders, and I was kind of in a massive creative rut because I was not thinking about things creatively. I was not thinking about using that muscle that is creativity. I really think that creativity is a muscle, and everybody's creative. Everybody has a creative side. I don't care if you are an accountant, a marketing person, a photographer, an actor, or somebody that works at a bank. I don't care. There is a creative side in you. And again, now's the time. I'm trying to, in the grand scheme of things, think about some positive side to being at home and having, a bit of time to invest in other things than just going to work, coming back to work, sleeping, getting up, eating, and doing the routine every day. So for me, again, it's about incorporating those day-to-day elements, photography, documenting the day-to-day life. I mean, I have my girls here, and kids are so great, especially at the age that my kids are 10 and 7, and they're keeping their smile up. I mean, they know about the virus, they know about the dangers, they know about everything, but they are willing to keep their day creative and keep their day joyful and playful. And that is a good reminder that we should do the same as adults. And if you are, slightly creative, again, now's the time to invest even more into your creativity. If you have that old website that you started 6 months ago, 6 years ago, well, now it's time to go back and just finish it. I mean, that's something that could lead to something else, because trust me, that economy is going to change with that whole crisis, that world crisis. A lot of businesses right now are struggling. A lot of businesses are trying to survive. New businesses are emerging from this whole thing. And far from the idea of taking advantage of the situation, I'm just saying that with crisis like that, creativity is one way to fight. I mean, if you look at the way we're trying to solve a lot of the problems, it requires a lot of creativity. And my point is that if you invest time, effort into your creativity, well, you will be more equipped to go through it. I mean, think about it. If you play the guitar for just like, I did it for 15 minutes earlier on, and I went online and did a live stream. That's just me. You don't have to go online and do a live stream, but for me, that was a way to connect with people through music, and that's something that's always been an important part of my life. But if you have an instrument at home, you don't even have to be good at it. Just pick it up, just strum those chords, strum the guitar. Why? Because the mind is wired to relax and to unwind, not thinking about stressful thing. And the least stressful thing is hearing an instrument or hearing something very peaceful, whether it's a piano or a mandolin, a guitar, a flute, whatever. Musical instruments are, at least for the majority of us, part of the relaxing and very soothing and good for the soul. I truly believe it. So again, if you know someone who is in need of something relaxing, play a song. If you are a musician, just play a song for that person. Just hop on whatever platform, Facebook, Zoom, whatever, and just start communicating through music. I truly believe in the power of that. Or if you are a photographer or videographer, well, go back to your Lightroom library and go through some of the photos you've taken over the years. And now's the time to assemble a book. I think printing your work and maybe giving some gifts to people. If you use a service like Blurb, I can put it in the show notes so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. I've printed some books for, as a gift to people, but I've also printed some books for me because looking at nice images has the same impact for me and for a lot of people that I know as hearing a song or hearing an instrument musical instrument. So in these uncertain times, my point is invest in your creativity. I know it's hard sometimes. You feel like just going to sleep and hoping to wake up and this is all over. But you know what? Guess what? This is not going to be an easy couple days type situation. We might be in for a couple months. So might as well, again, use that creativity in a positive way. And if you are interested in learning more about how to stay creative, you can reach out to me through Twitter. I'm Fred Ranger. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post what I think is images that can help go through these tough times. I always like to point out the good side of life, even when it gets challenging. So that's what you can expect on my Instagram feed. There are some inspirational images out there that I've taken, and some crappy images also, but sometimes the text is good and sometimes none of it is good. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because my point is about staying creative and being creative. So I use that outlet very often, and you can also go on my website at fredranger.com, and I will be happily answering your questions. There's also the YouTube channel. I haven't been super active because of busyness and trying to reorganize life, literally, with kids and work and creativity, like I said. So it's not an easy task, but I should be getting back at it very shortly. So it's youtube.com/fredranger. And again, I would entice you to poke me on any of these platforms if you want to engage a dialogue, if you want some tips and tricks on how to stay creative in these times of crisis. Please do. I don't have all the answers. I don't pretend to be a guru or anything like that. I just know that creativity is helping me cope and is helping me go through this very unprecedented times. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any tips and tricks on your end on how to stay creative or how to go through these difficult times. And I've been Fred Ranger. Please be happy, enjoy life, and enjoy being creative. Cheers.